The violence in India is primarily driven by a paramilitary called the RSS and by the RSS's political wing, the BJP. The RSS, a paramilitary which arose with direct inspiration from the fascists in Europe and which looked to Nazi Germany to justify its agenda of smashing pluralism and trading peace for conflict by ethnically cleansing India of religious minorities. That RSS BJP regime in India has corollary organizations here in America whose leaders not only helped to put it into power in India, but whose leaders also have a long track record of reaching out to and funding some of our American politicians, even here in Maryland. Look at the case of Lieutenant Governor Aruna Miller. In Maryland, the most egregious example is Lieutenant Governor Aruna Miller. Here in America, the RSS has a wing called the HSS, and the BJP has a wing called the Overseas Friends of the BJP. Aruna Miller's links to these groups have been extensively reported by outlets like The Intercept and the Huffington Post. Leaders from both the OFBJP and the HSS have repeatedly interacted with her, hosted her for events, and donated extensively to her campaigns. Over decades, she has fundraised from leaders in the HSS or related groups, including keynoting their events. She attended a 2014 OFBJP banquet to celebrate Modi's election, and there she called him a rock star. She even jetted out of state to chase down donations from HSS leaders after they helped to put the RSS-BJP in power. After Modi rose to national power as prime minister, persecution of Indian Muslims under his regime has ramped up so rapidly that international experts are warning that the unchecked and state-tolerated Islamophobia there now verges on outright genocide. The RSS in India today is busy burning down churches and mosques, lynching Muslims and Christians, and implementing a Nazi-esque agenda. Muslims are beaten or lynched in the streets, mosques are burned or bulldozed, and those who call it out are arrested at such a rate that it's impossible to keep up with every new and terrifying development. These are just the latest incidents in a very long and growing trend of anti-minority violence, particularly against Indian Christians and Muslims over the last decade, all of it spearheaded by branches of a paramilitary called the RSS and tolerated or sanctioned by the RSS's political wing, India's nationally ruling BJP. Although Aruna Miller knows that, it seems that she is more interested in the financial backing of supporters of that violent regime, people whom she reportedly calls her dear personal friends, than she is in standing on principle. The sad reality is that Aruna Miller has staunchly refused to disassociate from these groups.